General Hospital next 2 weeks June 23 to July 4, BLQ's vengeful strike, Jason's bold interference. General Hospital 2-week spoilers for June 23 to July 4, 2025 see Brooklyn Quartermaine, Amanda Setton, getting revenge and Jason Morgan, Steve Burton, interfering in something very important. General Hospital spoilers, Carly's concerns and Willow's bombshell engagement. Monday, June 23, we have Carly Corinthos Spencer, Laura Wright, questioning Michael Corinthos, Rory Gibson, on whether he is prepared to keep Willow Tate, Caitlin McMullen, away from his kids, Wiley Quartermaine Corinthos, Viren Weaver, and Amelia Grace Corinthos, Sequoia and Serenity Mork-Mako, for good because things are getting worse between them. Because this week, Willow has been talked into getting engaged to Drew Kane Quartermaine, Cameron Matheson, against all common sense, she goes over to the Q mansion and tells Michael that she knows he's not going to be happy about this, but she has to tell him she is marrying Drew. And of course, she got talked into it because Martin Gray, Michael E. Knight, I guess, wants more legal fees and is saying this is the best way to fight that custody verdict, which of course we all know Sidwell, Carlo Rhoda, bought, and that's why it went that way. So that's suspicious as well. Port Charles drama, internships, relationship troubles, and shaken emotions. Kai Taylor, Jens Austin Astrup, tells Trina Robinson, Tabiana Ali, what he's planning for the summer. He is going to be Drew's paid congressional intern. And he turned him down at first, but then he took it once Drew said, "Oh no. You don't have to be in D.C. You can work for me here locally in Port Charles." And Trina is very upset to say the least. She's not going to tell Kai he can't do it, but there's clearly a lot of trouble brewing here because her parents hate the guy. And Jordan Ashford, Tanisha Harper, and Curtis Ashford, Donnell Turner, talk about the past, and she tells him something from their shared past that was the best feeling ever. Portia Robinson, Brooke Kerr, meanwhile, is more than a little upset. She's downright shaken. And this may be because she sees Curtis and Jordan getting closer, and you know he just turned her down when Portia was trying to get a kiss. So she definitely feels threatened by Jordan, as she should, and Drew as well. Another source of anxiety. Willow's impulsive decision and Tracy's public outburst, General Hospital spoilers. Nina Reeves, Cynthia Watros, is in absolute shock on Monday because of Willow's bombshell that she's going to marry Drew. Nina tries to talk her out of it and tells her to be patient and just wait, and then they can, you know, work on Michael for the custody thing, but she's not going to turn Drew down. Boy, that cult conditioning that she grew up with really made her mental ground fertile for Drew to come in and just totally gaslight her. Plus, Tracy Quartermaine, Jane Elliott, asks Brooklyn about Gio Palmieri, Giovanni Mazza, and she has not spoken to her son yet. Brooklyn trying to give Gio some space, and Tracy wants BLQ's advice on an offer from Drew, but she's not sure that she's actually going to do it. Drew is jubilant and tells Martin Gray that this thing with Tracy is going to be the second best thing to happen. And of course, that is second only to Willow agreeing to marry him. Plus, Tracy acts out publicly. So, it's at the press conference Martin and Drew have planned. I wonder if Tracy is going to do what she told Drew she would do and say, or if she's going to go rogue, because you know Tracy has a hard time holding her tongue. General Hospital spoilers, Tuesday's twists, reassurance, intel, and unlikely alliances. Tuesday, June 24, Trina gets some reassurance from her dad Curtis, and it may be that he'll take care of Drew and they will work together to protect Kai from Congressman Cutthroat. Plus, Portia is absolutely going off on someone. It could be Drew, you know, or it could be Jordan. If she senses that Jordan's moving in on her man. If she does have something to say to Jordan, she'll probably clap back at Portia and say, once again, your own lies are what is burning you down. Which is true. Drew gets some valuable intel on Tuesday. And I just wonder if Kai is going to warn him that Curtis and Portia are looking for Jacinda, and they plan to have her say terrible, terrible things about him. I think at this point Kai is probably more loyal to Drew than to Trina's parents. Plus, Carly is again pleading with Michael on Tuesday, and this may be some fallout from the engagement reveal. And Nina goes looking for help from somebody absolutely unlikely. And I wonder if it's Michael. You know, that would definitely be out of character. She did try working with Carly, but Carly burned her. So maybe it's Michael. We'll see. Wednesday's web, seduction plots, legal troubles, and family discussions. Wednesday, June 25, Cody Bell, Josh Kelly, does as he is told to do, and this is probably more of Christina Corinthos Davis, Kate Monsey, pushing him about the Ava Jerome, Maura West seduction plot. And of course, Christina is going to keep on doing this even though Elizabeth Weber, Rebecca Herbst, told her, "If you keep coming at her and you keep acting rashly, I will go to the police and tell them what you did and that you almost killed me and Rick Lansing, Rick Hurst." So that was the point when Christina should have just dropped it. But of course she's not going to. She's not going to. She needs a serious timeout somewhere for some therapy. Marco Rios, Adrian Anchondo hands over something. And this may be that signed agreement to D.A. Turner, Nazneen contractor, because Natalia Rogers Ramirez, Eva LaRue, is facing her third felony DUI, I think, and could go to jail for quite a while. Alexis Davis, Nancy Lee Grahn, goes looking for Liz at General Hospital. So, Christina may tell her mom that, yeah, Liz knows about the cut break lines. Alexis may want to make sure that Liz isn't going to tattle. She may want to thank her. And I'm guessing Liz is going to tell her that she's only keeping quiet for Sam McCall, Kelly Monaco, because her family has had a lot of pain. Brooke Lynn and Dante Falconeri, Dominic Zamprogna, spend some time talking about Gio. They both want to get close to their son. Maybe working together is the better idea than separately. And Martin gets some bad news on Wednesday. So maybe Liz tells him, "No, I'm not suing anybody over that car." Thursday's turmoil, advice, different perspectives, and upsetting discoveries. Thursday, June 26th, Lulu Spencer, Alexa Havens-Bruning, issues some advice to Lucas Jones, Van Hansis. Not that she is somebody to take advice from, because Lulu is another fly by the seat of your pants person who makes very emotional and aggressive decisions. Jason helps Dante see things differently. And this is probably a talk about parenting and about the big Gio reveal. Marco uncovers something, and I wonder if it's to do with his dad, Sidwell. And Brooklyn sees something that upsets her, and it could be Lulu having a nice friendly chat with Gio, which is something that BLQ has not been able to do. Carly talks to Sonny Corinthos, Maurice Benard. And after that, she really starts to foreshadowing, discoveries, ceremonies, and reminiscing. Friday, June 27th, Brooke Lynn and Chase, Josh Swickard, discover something. And I wonder if it's about Britt Westbourne, Kelly Thibault, and Rocco Falceroni, Finn Francis Carr. They are clearly setting the groundwork for Kelly Thibault's July return. And it's going to tie into this Rocco thing, which means it's going to tie into Britt. And we'll see if she's alive or, has a secret twin. It is Daisy's christening ceremony on Friday. Sasha Gilmore, Sophia Matson, Michael, the families are there, and having everybody together means there's a potential for danger since somebody is gunning for Sonny. Anna Devane, Finola Hughes, has to answer some hard questions and Sonny gets a huge shock on Friday. So, we'll see what happens if somebody's going to make a move at the christening. Maybe the DA has him arrested there. I don't know. Jason and Carly do some reminiscing on Friday. General Hospital spoilers, June 30th to July 4th, revenge plots, family secrets, and a growing conspiracy. And then the following week, June 30th through July 4th, Brooke Lynn gets that intriguing info about Rocco's past and looks like she's one step closer to getting revenge on Lulu. Events at Daisy's christening could have some far-reaching implications. There's a lot of people there that could be targets. We'll see. Dante makes an attempt to communicate with Gio. And Marco has some serious questions for his dad, June Sidwell. Plus, there's a growing group of people, a cabal if you will, that are trying to destroy Drew. It seems like everybody in Port Charles, Tracy, Ned Quartermain, Wally Kurth, Michael, Jason, Sasha, Nina, Portia, Curtis, Trina, Jocelyn Jacks, Eden McCoy, Carly, Jack Brennan, Chris McKenna, Brennan, everybody is gunning for Drew Cameron Matheson. Hopefully somebody's going to make some progress. And Nina could be the key to helping Michael and Curtis track down Jacinda Page Herschel. Willow and Drew are planning an ASAP wedding while Nina scrambles for a way to stop it. Cody's seduction plan with Ava picks up speed and Liz may notice something strange with Ava because she knows how much she likes Rick. Also look for a rerun or a preemption on Friday. The July 4th episode is typically always a rerun. If an encore does air, you may want to delete it so it doesn't mess up your Monday recording. Gio and Lulu's bonding sparks Brooke Lynn's fury. General Hospital sees Brooklyn Quartermain, Amanda Seton, determined to get revenge on Lulu Spencer, Alexa Havens-Bruning, for her meddling with Gio Palmieri's Giovanni Mazza parent reveal. And things are about to get so much worse this week because Brooklyn is going to find out Lulu has been talking to Gio when he won't give her or Dante Falconeri, Dominic Zamprogna, the time of day. We're going to talk about how Brooklyn may throw her revenge plan against Lulu into high gear after she notices a growing closeness to her son Gio. Brooklyn Quartermain's revenge plot, targeting Lulu Spencer and Gio. So right now, Brooklyn is on a mission. She wants revenge on Lulu for digging into her life and exposing her long-buried baby secret. It's bad enough that Lulu exposed Brooklyn for having Dante's baby as a teenager and giving it up for adoption, but then Lulu found out something Brooklyn didn't even know. First, she found out her baby with Dante was a boy. BLQ was stunned by that. And then Lulu figured out Gio was Brooklyn and Dante's son, and she confirmed it by confronting Lois Cerullo Rena Sofer at the nurses' ball instead of somewhere less public. And then she never went to talk to Brooklyn about it or anything, even when she first had the suspicion that Gio was her kid. That's what Dante is so mad about, that she just went hog wild and didn't even come talk to the right people. Plus, even though Lulu was told repeatedly that BLQ was in the dark about the family adoption and that it was Gio, Lulu just decided to keep thinking the worst of Brooklyn because that's what she wants to do. Lulu's past and its impact on current actions in General Hospital. So part of this may be some leftover teen pregnancy issues of her own. If you were watching way back in the day, you may remember Lulu got pregnant by Dylan Quartermain, then Scott Clifton, tricking him into cheating on his wife. And when he found out Lulu was pregnant, Dylan wanted the baby. But Lulu decided to abort the child. And Brooklyn didn't hassle Lulu about that decision as a teen. But Lulu definitely hassled Brooklyn about her making her own choice about her teen pregnancy. In Lulu's mind, BLQ was wrong for not telling Dante, but her own teen dilemma was done the right way when she actually kind of did Dylan dirty, And of course, since Lulu just couldn't leave it alone or wait for a private moment, Gio overheard her and Lois, and he learned the truth in the worst possible way. And then, of course, Dante and Brooklyn found out because Gio announced it to the entire nurses' ball and smashed his violin. I still say that was the best act at this year's nurses' ball. Most of the others were not great. It was not up to its usual standards in my opinion. Upcoming spoilers, Brooklyn's escalating revenge and Lulu's unapologetic stance. Anyway, Brooklyn is now on the warpath, and she's already got this plan in motion to get revenge on Lulu for appending her and Dante's lives, but mostly for causing Gio so much pain. This week's spoilers have BLQ seeing something that bothers her, and it could be Lulu having a friendly chat with Gio. Recently, Lulu went over to the Metro Court where he works to apologize to Gio, and he was very understanding. Said it wasn't Lulu's fault. He's mostly just upset with his biological parents, Brooklyn and Dante, who had no idea he was right under their noses this whole time. And of course, Joe's furious at his grandmother, Lois, and great-grandmother, Gloria Cerullo, Ellen Travolta, for creating this whole lie and then sticking to it. And if you recall, I think it was last week, Maxie Jones, Kirsten Storms, tried to broker peace and wanted Lulu to apologize to Brooklyn for hurting her son, Gio, and butting into something that wasn't her business. But Lulu is just unapologetic. She's an out-of-control wrecking ball lately. And understandably, BLQ was furious. And it got worse because Lulu said no regrets about what she's done. She refused to apologize to Brooklyn and defended what she did, saying the truth needed to come out. Potential twists, Britt Westbourne's connection and Rocco's true parentage in General Hospital. Well, that's interesting because there could be some truth coming out soon that may burn down Lulu's life. As of right now, Gio and Lulu have become friendly. She's the mom of his half-brother, Rocco Falceroni, Finn Francis Carr, and Lulu wants them to bond as brothers. So, I expect we'll see lots more of Gio interacting with Lulu. And that is definitely going to infuriate Brooklyn, not only because she hates Lulu, but because Gio won't even talk to his parents. But there he is chatting up Lulu, who's a big-mouth betrayer as far as BLQ sees her. So, if it is Lulu that Brooklyn sees with Gio in this week's spoilers, Brooklyn's going to spiral into even more of a rage than she's already in. And Brooklyn is soon going to double down on her plan to make Lulu pay. She's got Marco Rios, Adrian and Chando digging up dirt on Lulu right now. And more, it seems that Brooklyn thinks Britt Westbourne, Kelly Thibault, is the key to knocking Lulu off her pedestal and proving she's not half the mom she claims she is. General Hospital. So if you're a longtime General Hospital watcher, you may remember years ago Britt turned up pregnant, claimed the baby was Patrick Drake's, Jason Thompson. Britt was jealous and was trying to keep Patrick away from this nurse. I won't go into all the names because that's so much history. We could talk about this for an hour. But later, Britt changed her story and said her bestie Brad Cooper, Parisian, got her pregnant. And then Britt wound up giving birth to a baby boy on the living room floor at Windermere because she had kind of gotten involved with Nicholas Cassadine, then Tyler Christopher. She named the little boy Ben. She began raising the baby, but later it came out Britt stole one of Dante and Lulu's stored embryos and used it to impregnate herself. So, Britt is the one who carried and gave birth to Lulu and Dante's son, Rocco. Britt had named him Ben at birth. And it wasn't until later that Dante and Lulu found out he was their son. After looking through the info from Marco, Brooklyn thinks there's something in this old Lulu-Britt drama that could help her get payback for what she did to her son, Gio. Rewriting history, speculations on Rocco's paternity and Britt's return. So, BLQ has Marco looking for Rocco's original birth certificate. And I'm wondering if Brooklyn is going to dig up some info that shows Rocco is not legally Lulu's son. Maybe not even biologically. There's more to it. Maybe Rocco may not actually be the child of that embryo. Brooklyn may stumble upon a much bigger secret, but it'll only work if General Hospital is rewriting history yet again. And they might because, this whole teen fling and secret pregnancy with Dante and BLQ, it's a drastic rewrite of known GH history. They weren't even the same age to have been at camp together. It violates a whole bunch of history, but they went and they did it. So, that means there's a chance they could do another rewrite and have Rocco being Britt and Patrick Drake's son, which would also make him Emma Scorpio Drake's, Braden Bruner brother, not Joe's brother. There is a chance when Britt used that embryo to get pregnant, it didn't take and she got pregnant by Patrick for real. That's what happened when Maxie, if you remember, was trying to carry a child for Lulu years and years ago. She wound up pregnant with Georgie Spinelli Lily Fisher. The embryo didn't take and the kid was really Maxie and Damian Spinelli's, Bradford Anderson, baby. General Hospital, Liz Weber's sketchy move. So, I will remind you of the history that Liz Weber, Rebecca Herbst, ran an illegal unauthorized DNA test that revealed that Rocco was Dante's kid and that helped unravel everything. However, that doesn't mean GH isn't just going to ignore that or undo it. So, imagine if Lulu finds out Rocco is not Dante's. That would crush her. So very soon Marco and Brooklyn may find this out. And with Kelly Thibault coming back, this all makes perfect sense. They can bring Britt back from the dead, make Rocco her son, or bring in a secret twin sister of Britt, and she fights for custody as Rocco's biological aunt. That would rip Lulu's entire world apart, and BLQ would love to see it happen. Consequences and karma, the potential fallout of Brooklyn's revenge plan. But if this is how Brooklyn gets her vengeance on Lulu, Rocco and Dante would end up collateral damage. That's what happened when Lulu went digging into Brooklyn's life. She heard Dante and Gio as collateral damage and then stood by her catastrophic actions. So, I do think Lulu needs a big slap from karma, but it would suck for Dante and Rocco. With Kelly Thibault back in July and Britt's name dropping all the time, it looks like this could be the way we're going. We'll see if they're going to violate history. If Brooklyn sees Lulu hanging out with Gio when he won't even talk to her and Dante, I do expect BLQ to lash out and use any info she gets about Lulu and Rocco to hurt her enemy. And then BLQ may say that she doesn't need to apologize to Lulu because she's the one who said the truth should always come out.